my message to you is that this idea of certainty is a mirage. It never was as certain as we imagine it today, the global, the macro context, and it's never going to get to the point of certainty that we hope or we think will be assuring enough to make us feel confident in our investments. In fact, what it means is that the kind of uncertainty that people have been complaining about, lamenting the last 2 years, is actually the new condition that we're in. So what does it mean to be a leader in this environment? An environment where, in one word, uncertainty is the new certainty. I think it means three things. It means paying attention to what I call macro diligence. And it's a big term, it's a big complicated concept, but it's really fairly simple. All it says is you're all used to doing operational diligence, legal diligence, financial diligence in your own businesses, if you're looking at acquiring another company, if you're looking at new markets. Well, macro diligence is the diligence around what is this economic context going to mean for me, macroeconomic, from a growth perspective, from a markets perspective. What is the political context going to be? What is the role of government going to be? How are they going to treat me as a new operator in a new market? What kind of taxation, what kind of competition rules, what kind of legislation is going to come my way? This kind of macro diligence is the kind that says, I know my market, I can see the growth opportunity, but I also know from the last 5 years that if I just do diligence on the competitive landscape, if I just leave it to where my own business is, where my own products are, innovation right there, I can get swamped by what's coming from the political side, from the economic side, from the policy side. And I need to pay attention to that. And I need to have a way to manage that. How can that be painful if you don't do that? Take Carlsberg in Russia, the Danish beer maker. Was very dominant already in Russia, decided they were going to make a big bet to dominate completely the Russian market at the higher end of the beer drinking. They looked at the Russian demographic, they looked at Russian tastes, and they said this is going to be a huge new market for us. They put in a total of $10 billion over the last 10 years through various acquisitions and investments. And what happens just when they're supposed to reap the benefits of this? The Russian government, very belatedly, decides that the health implications for Russia of the kind of alcoholism and the kind of abuse of alcohol you see in Russia is devastating the country. And they put in draconian new rules around who can buy beer, where it can be bought, the prices it's going to have. And Carlsberg is now looking at a huge market where they had done all the analysis, they'd done all the competitive analysis, they'd looked at their own products, this is going to be fantastic, and they've been swamped by government regulation, swamped by the macro. And so I would put to you that a key element of effective leadership in this era of uncertainty is that kind of macro diligence.